the night ferry, and the man who never missed it. Every night, just before the sky fully darkened, Elias closed the door of his small house by the water and walked down the same narrow path toward the ferry dock. He had done this for years, not because he needed to go anywhere in particular, but because the ferry always ran at night, and Elias liked knowing that something in the world was still moving gently forward. Elias lived alone in a quiet coastal town where evenings arrived softly, when the shops closed and the streets grew still. He would prepare for his walk. He put on the same coat, checked the same pocket for his ticket, locked the door with the same careful turn of the key. None of this felt repetitive to him. It felt familiar. The ferry dock was small and well kept. A single lamp stood at the end of the wooden platform, casting a warm circle of light onto the water below. The sea was calm most nights, moving slowly, as if it too were preparing for sleep. Elias arrived early, as he always did, and sat on the bench near the lamp. He liked waiting. The ferry arrived without announcement. Its engine hummed softly as it approached, and the boat eased into place with practiced care. At the helm stood Mara, the ferryman. She had been running the night ferry for as long as Elias could remember. "Evening," she said, as she always did. "Evening," Elias replied. They never needed to say much more. Mara knew her passengers well. There were never many at night. Sometimes only Elias, sometimes one or two others who needed to cross the water quietly. She took his ticket with a nod and waited until he had found his usual seat near the window. The ferry pulled away smoothly, leaving the dock and its single light behind. The water stretched out dark and wide around them. Occasionally, moonlight shimmered across the surface, breaking into soft patterns that never stayed the same for long. Elias watched without trying to follow any one reflection. He had learned that the crossing wasn't about watching closely. It was about letting the journey happen. Halfway across, Mara stepped away from the helm for a moment and sat across from Elias. "Quiet night," she said. "They usually are." Elias replied. Mara smiled. "That's why I like this shift." Elias nodded. "So do I." They sat in companionable silence. After that, listening to the gentle sound of the water against the hull. Mara had once asked him, long ago, why he took the ferry every night. "I like knowing there's a place between places," he had said, "a stretch where nothing is expected." Mara had understood immediately. At the center of the crossing, the ferry always slowed slightly, not because it needed to, but because Mara liked to give the water time. This was Elias's favorite part. The town behind them felt far away now. The opposite shore, not yet close. Here, in the middle, there was no arrival to think about, only movement. Tonight, There was one other passenger, a young woman wrapped in a blanket, eyes closed. She had boarded without a word and settled into sleep almost immediately. Elias smiled faintly. The ferry had that effect on people. Eventually, the lights of the far shore came into view, small and steady, unhurried. Mara returned to the helm, guiding the ferry in with practiced ease. The boat slowed, then came to rest against the dock. Elias stood, thanked Mara as he always did, and stepped onto the wooden planks. He never stayed long on the far side. A few minutes, a breath of different air. Then he boarded again for the return crossing. The return journey felt even quieter. The young woman remained asleep. The water barely moved. When the ferry reached the original dock, the lamp was still glowing patiently. Elias stepped off, nodded to Mara, and began his walk home. At his door, Elias paused for a moment and looked back toward the water. The ferry was already turning, ready for the next crossing. Some things, he knew, would continue quietly whether he watched them or not. That thought comforted him. He went inside, closed the door gently, and let the night finish settling around him. If you're still listening, that's okay. If you've already drifted somewhere else, that's okay too. The night continues quietly, and the fire beside you still burns, steady, warm, unchanged. Nothing more is required. You can rest now.